At 7:31 p.m. on Tuesday, October 1st, Iran launched between 180 to 200 hypersonic missiles towards Israel, calling it a revenge attack for Israel's killing of Nasrallah, Ismail Haniyeh, and 3 of its senior generals. The attacks targeted multiple cities and military targets, reportedly including Israeli Air Force bases. The Iranians used hypersonic ballistic missile Fatah-2 for the attack to bypass Israeli radars and Israeli air defense systems. However, minutes before the missiles neared Israel, IDF radars detected the incoming missiles, setting off warning sirens all over Israel, which led to the population taking shelter in bomb shelters constructed all over Israeli cities and populated areas. At the same time, the Israeli defense systems went into play to intercept the supersonic missiles. Israel uses the Iron Dome to block short-range missiles and medium to long-range rockets, along with cruise and short-range ballistic missiles. It is believed Israel mostly used Arrow 2 and 3 interceptors to intercept the Iranian hypersonic missiles. Unlike its previous attack in April, in which Iran used a combination of conventional missiles, drones, and rockets against Israel, this time Iran used only hypersonic missiles. Hello and welcome to News Blitzer. As per multiple sources, the Iranian attack went on for around 45 minutes, after which the Israel Defense Forces said it was safe for people across Israel to leave shelters, with IDF spokesperson Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari saying that the military did not identify any additional aerial threats from Iran. Earlier during the day, the U.S. had warned that an Iranian attack on Israel was imminent, and it is believed that Israel took the warning seriously, and the defense forces, especially the radar stations and the air defense systems, were placed on high alert. Chief of the General Staff of the Iranian Armed Forces, Mohammad Bagheri, claimed that the Nevatim Air Base, the Netzarim military facility, and the Tel Nof intelligence unit were hit in the Tuesday night attack dubbed Operation True Promise 2. The Nevatim Air Base allegedly houses Israel's F-35 fighter jets, but there has been no independent confirmation of any of these targets being hit by the Iranian missiles. Similarly, the missiles targeted the Mossad headquarters in Tel Aviv, but video footage shows only a small bomb crater in an open area near the site and not on the target, while there is no independent confirmation of any hits on any of the designated targets. A BBC correspondent in Jerusalem, however, told the news broadcaster that some military bases may have been hit and that restaurants and schools were hit. Many of the missiles were heading for cities, including Tel Aviv, he said, debunking Iran's claim that it had targeted only military establishments. In another statement, Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, or IRGC, claimed that 90% of the missiles had hit their targets, adding that hypersonic missiles had been used for the first time and that 3 Israeli military bases had been targeted. However, despite Iran's grandiose claims of 90% hits, globally the Iranian missile attack is billed as a failure like its attack in April. Israel said that most of the missiles had been shot down by defense systems and that no Israeli was killed, though 2 people were reported to have been injured by shrapnel. An U.S. defense official said the United States had intercepted some of the missiles to help defend Israel. A Pentagon spokesperson said U.S. Navy destroyers had fired about a dozen interceptors against Iranian missiles headed to Israel. United Kingdom, too, has said that it did what it could to stop the Fatah-2 missiles. British Defense Secretary John Healey said British forces had played their part in attempts to prevent further escalation but did not provide any details. BBC also reported that some missiles were shot down by Jordan, while it has also verified footage showing missile interceptions over the Jordanian capital of Amman. The only death reported from the missile attack is that of a Palestinian in Jericho who was killed by falling debris of intercepted missiles. Missiles were reportedly also brought down even dangerously close to the vicinity of the Al-Aqsa Mosque. The Israeli air defense systems are said to have been designed such that in any overwhelming missile attack, the missiles that escape the air defense systems fall into open areas. But that's not the only attack that happened in Israel on Tuesday. Just prior to the Iranian attack, 2 terrorists in Jaffa opened fire on Israeli civilians, killing 7 of them. The terrorists Mohammed Shalaf Sahar Rajab and Hassan Mohammed Hassan Tamimi from Hebron were shot dead by a security patrol unit and citizens using personal firearms. Those killed in the terror attack included a 33-year-old mother of a 9-month-old baby. Back in Iran, generals and ayatollahs were seen celebrating the attack, little knowing that the hypersonic missile attack on Israel had been a failure. The IRGC General Mohammad Bagheri on Wednesday went on to brag that IRGC was prepared to repeat its missile attack with multiplied intensity if Israel retaliates to the attack. Prime Minister Netanyahu, in a telecast to the nation, said the following after the attack:
איראן עשתה הערב טעות גדולה, והיא תשלם על כך. המשטר באיראן לא מבין את נחישותנו להגן על עצמנו, ואת נחישותנו לגמול לאויבינו. סינואר ודף לא הבינו זאת, נסראללה ומוחסן לא הבינו זאת, וכנראה יש בטהרן אלה שלא מבינים זאת. הם יבינו. נעמוד בכלל שקבענו. מי שתוקף אותנו, אנחנו תוקפים אותו. זה נכון בכל מקום כשאנחנו נלחמים.
With Israel promising a devastating response, speculations are rife over the targets that Israel would choose to hit in Iran. These targets could range from oil wells, oil transportation infrastructure, industrial and military infrastructure. Speaking to DW News, journalist Balig Sladin, quoting Wall Street Journal, says, Israel could strike Iran's nuclear facilities as it had earlier through Arab players in the Middle East conveyed a message to Iran that if Iran attacks Israel, Israel will target Iran's nuclear facilities and also the oil facilities in Iran. Former U.S. Major General Keith Kellogg, on the other hand, believes the Israeli response could be far more severe. Speaking to a news channel via a phone, he said that Israel is likely to go either after Iran's nuclear plants or Ayatollah Khameini himself. If these assessments are true, Iran is facing a catastrophic situation, as an attack on either Iran's nuclear facilities or on Ayatollah Khameini or both would be devastating for Iran and also throw Iran into serious internal political turmoil. The Ayatollahs are already battling severe opposition from a vast majority of the population, and not much celebration was seen in Iran over its attack on Israel. On the contrary, many Iranians were earlier seen celebrating the killing of Hezbollah chief Hassan Nasrallah in an Israeli airstrike. Meanwhile, U.S. President Joe Biden reaffirmed U.S. support for Israel after the missile attack, describing it as defeated and ineffective. He had ordered his forces in the region to aid Israel's defense and shoot down Iranian missiles, he said, adding there was an active discussion about how Israel would respond, and he would speak with Netanyahu. UK Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer, on the other hand, said the UK stood with Israel and recognized her right to self-defense. France and Japan too condemned Iran's attacks and called on all parties to avoid further escalation. Israel has clearly said that it will respond to the Iranian attack at a time of its choosing. The situation is fluid. If you have not already subscribed to this channel, please do so to get the latest updates on the developing situation and share it with your circle. Thank you for watching this video and hope to see you again soon. Thank you once again.